Hello and welcome to day 43 in this quest for a 2000 rating on chess.com. So let's find an opponent and begin. Alright, so we have the white pieces. Well, no, it's still searching for an opponent. So let's see what happens here and if we get the white pieces or black. Alright, so we have white. We're playing against a higher rated opponent, 1649. So e4. And let's see how they respond. Alright, so e5 it is. Okay, so knight to f3, attacking. They defend, and we'll play bishop to c4, the Italian game, and see what they respond with. All right, the two knights. So we'll just go ahead and defend that pawn and then go ahead and castle here. So see what they do next. Now, do we play c3 here or a4 or do we try this or we capture the pawn, they capture, and then we fork these two pieces and capture one back? If we do that, well, then this pawn will be unprotected. So I don't know. Do I like that or not? We'll just play with c3 here. Try and control the center, or get ready to push forward in the center. And if they play d6, I mean, I don't know if it's the best move, but I kind of like playing this to prevent them from pinning. So now, do we just retreat back here? So that's the question. Do we just retreat back? If we, I don't know, let them capture, well, do we capture? This is kind of a tricky situation. I'm wondering if I capture, it pulls this pawn from the side towards the center, giving the rook an opening. You know, I probably should just retreat here. So I'll just go ahead and do that. We'll just retreat back. And if they capture now, we just recapture. Alright, so what did that do? I guess it connected his rooks. It gets his queen off the back rank. It could threaten an attack here. So now they're wanting to chat, but I don't know. I'm always having time trouble anyway, so that's the main reason I don't try and talk to the opponent while we're playing. Alright, so now do we push forward here and attack? And also, should we line up here on this? I mean, I guess I could line up like that on his queen. Okay. So he decides to line up there. Let's see. If we were to attack here, and they capture, we capture, let's see. So here, capture, recapture. Well, then they could move down there and attack us. So I could get rid of their good bishop for my bad bishop here. That's a possibility as well. So maybe I'll go ahead and do that. I don't know, I probably should have done that earlier, but now that their rook is moved off of this F file, I don't know, they'll probably capture with their queen. But I guess we'll find out here. So, depending on what they do, I have to decide, do I want to push this pawn forward? They capture. Let's see. Well, maybe I move my queen up here. And then push my bishop over here. All right, at least they're taking a long time to think about this. So let's see here. I guess they're really deciding if they want to capture with the pawn. And what are the differences? Well, if they capture with the pawn, they could maybe use this F file, the half open F file, for some kind of attack. Okay, so they decide to do that. All right, now I guess we'll go here. Then we'll bring our bishop up and attack their bishop. Okay, was that a mistake or not? Let's find out. So if we capture there, all right. Okay, so a turning point in the game here. Do we try to pin this knight? That's a possibility. Do we capture here and then go after this? If they capture like this, undoubling their pawns, well then we have to watch out, because if we capture, they capture. Well, if we capture here, they could just bring their rook back. All right. Well, if we capture here, let's see. Okay. If we capture, they capture, then if we go after this, they could just move back here. But then I guess we could push this pawn up. Anyway, we'll just go ahead and do that. All right. So now, do we go after this? They capture. All right. Do we go after the rook here? I don't know. That if we go after that rook, it kind of lets the knight in. That could be dangerous. So, All right, all right. Well, this could be a problem. This pawn. Is there a way to attack his rook? If we go there with the rook, do we move here and attack his bishop first? Maybe that would be something to try out. All right, let's just develop, go after that. All right, so we try that. And then he's piling up on this. So do we push forward? If he captures, we capture, then we could go up this way. All right. Well, if we go there, if we attack, we can't do that because he'll capture and then, we're kind of stuck. So do we go here? If he captures, we capture, his knight captures, we jump up here and go after this. All right, all right. Well, maybe we should just develop here. We don't want him to capture this. So I guess we're opening things up here. All right, so I don't know if that was the best move, but my time, like usual, is running low. So if they capture, we capture. All right, so now, do we capture there first? Or do we capture here first? And are we going to end up with a piece blocked in here? That might be a problem as well. well, I guess we're doing that. Okay. Now, if we capture there, or do we go after his rook? Well, he can capture us with a check, so the problem here is okay, well, we probably have to capture. So if we capture him, then we bring our knight out. Well, we'll have time to protect this. But if we check him, he captures, we go here. Then he could check us. We have to run up here, and then he goes after our pawns. So, all right, I guess we go there first. Then we go up here with our knight. So, where is best to go with that knight? Guess we're going there. And the problem is, if he ends up on the second rank here, all right, I don't know. It's looking messy. He has a pawn majority on the queen side, which could be an endgame advantage. He has this isolated pawn weakness, but I mean, I guess he could bring his king up here. Okay, well, I wasn't expecting that. So, do we go after this and trade off? That looks to be the best move, to just go ahead and do that. All right. Well, now that is interesting. Okay. Should we go here? And double up? All right, well, if we knock that knight out, then he just captures, then we'll be able to double our rooks up. So, that'll be helpful. Now, also here, we could move up here and attack his rook. He'll probably go down here. I don't know. If we move up here and attack his rook, can we really go after this pawn? I don't know. Then we could threaten to go down here. But what would he do with this knight? Move it over here? All right, we'll just get rid of that. Then we'll double our rooks up. All right, now do I move out to here? Probably should just go there. Well, let me think about this before I move. If I go there and he captures, and I capture, and he jumps down here, we're going to end up just having our rook back here behind this. All right. Well, I guess we're going here. We're going to end up in a defensive position, which I don't like. He's going to capture. We're going to capture. Okay. Well, all right. What do I do now? What do I do now? Probably just go there. And at least we keep his king. All right, so now we keep his king trapped off there. All right, so this is very tricky. Usually you want to avoid these end games with pawns only, unless you know you can have some kind of advantage. All right, so if I capture, he's going to go there. We need to jump up into the center. We need to push this forward. This is very tricky here. I don't like this because these end games can be tough. He has a lot more time than me. Well, if I go here, all right, whatever. I'm going to run out of time. So if we keep the opposition, if we move forward and he moves forward, there'll be 1, 2, 3, 4 squares. So right now there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So all right, if I go here, there's going to be an odd number. So 8, we got 6 between us. So here would be 5. All right. Here would be 3 and 1. All right, do I go that way? All right. Now I gotta back up. Okay, so now we can go. Should I go there? Try and get those pawns moving. All right, so I don't know. This is why these games are so tricky. So at least here, he's going to promote with a check. Crap. All right, he's going to promote with a check. Do we move out of the check and then we promote? We might as well promote. So here he promotes with a check. So he'll be chasing us all around. Oh, don't want to go that way. That would be a disaster. Crap. Is he going to hold us off here? Come on, did we mess up here? Did we mess up? Might have messed up. Man, this is so frustrating. All right, so if we move here, he just comes out to there. So we have to, then he's just going to run over here. Oh, I think we got him. We got him. Oh my gosh. Oh, that was so close. Now we just stay in the corner in front of the pawn. And there's no way for him to promote, so it's just a draw now. Whew. All right, well, we held a draw in that one. I guess that's better than a loss. So let's take a look at the game review and see what we could have done better there. So looks like, oh man, they had a winning chance there. So we had something bad happened later in the game where we were actually losing. Okay, so let's see. We played at 87.6 versus their 88. And we had 8 great moves and they had 3. They had 36 of the best moves versus our 25. Okay, so inaccuracies. They had 3. We had 3 mistakes and they had 6. And then we had 2 misses, so we'll have to see what those were as well. It says the game ended in a draw, but you missed a chance to win. This is a good learning opportunity. So let's see. Well, looks like they missed a chance to win as well. So let's take a look here. All right. So the Giuoco Piano, the quiet game in the Italian. Let's see, and it's blasting through the moves real quick like usual. So now coming up here, we made a mistake here. It looks like we had a winning chance. So instead of that move, and here I was not sure what to play. Oh, maybe I should have pushed forward with this pawn, trying to break his pawns up. Let's see. Okay, yes. So it's saying I should have played a5 here, because now if he captures, well then I capture this pawn and then go after his pawns and I have a passed pawn here. If he pushes forward, we capture, have the opposition, we can pick this off and then march this pawn up. So that is a definite learning opportunity there. So we'll go over that in the analysis, but yeah, it looks like pushing that pawn would have been a winning move in this position. And it says it's the only move that works. So since we did not play that, instead, we moved our king. They moved back here. But now it's saying that's an inaccuracy, that best for them would have been to just push here. At this point, I would be forced to capture probably. Let's see. Well, we'll look at this in the analysis. So let me just go through the rest of this. All right, so that was a mistake. Best would have been just pushing this pawn up. All right, so we had a great move here, allowing us to push our pawns and start breaking through over on this side. But that was a mistake. So, oh, maybe we should have went after his pawn over here. Yep, we should have. So if he takes that one, we take this one. And then we hold these pawns back, and his king is kind of out of play. Man, so that would have been another good move there. All right. But, man, when I get down to, like, only a few minutes left on the clock, here a minute and a half, that's when all the blunders start happening. So sorry about that, sorry about that. I'll try not to, I don't know, I just have to work on the time, I guess. Okay, so moving on here. We'll see what this is. So here was a mistake. Man, so that looks like that was a losing mistake. Best would have been to go up that way. Okay, so this is definitely something else to take a look at during the game. We'll see what the deal is with that. By going there, what if they just go here? Oh, okay, they can't, because if they go here, we attack their pawn. So they would have to push their pawn forward. Okay. But I don't know, if they go here, then and we go there. I guess it's another one of those races where they run over here, we pick this off, and then try and get down here. Okay, so we have a few things to look at in the analysis. All right, so now things are back to even, and let's see. Then it's just a draw from this point on. Okay. And that was the end. So it says the game ended in a draw due to stalemate because the player to move was not in check and had no legal moves available. All right. So it looks like I played at a 2000 level. So I guess if I can try and keep that up, maybe my rating will slowly climb here. Oh man, I only gained 1 point from that draw against the opponent here. And they only lost 1 point, even though they were 50 rating points or almost 50 rating points ahead. You think it would have bumped me up a little bit more than one rating point. All right, so let's see here. You had a pretty competitive game there. The opening was balanced. It was an incredible middle game by both of you, and you both played a nice end game. So we had 95.5 in the opening, and they had 93.9. And then in the middle game, we played with 86.6% accuracy, and they had 88.7. So, yes, I feel like they did play the middle game a little bit better. End game 85.7 to 86.5. All right, well, I guess we were lucky to hold that draw, and then we missed out on some winning opportunities. So let's take a look at the analysis here, and I'll try and speed through this because it's a 70 move game and the video is already dragging out a little bit. So let's see. E4, E5, knight to F3. So we attack the pawn, they defend, we play the Italian game, just developing this bishop, getting ready to castle, and the bishop does a good job here helping control the d5 square, excuse me, it targets this weak f7 pawn, which is only protected by the king. So now they play this, the two knights defense, which can get really crazy, I guess. You could try and jump up here and target this pawn, the F pawn, with your knight and bishop together. But I don't know, they would probably just, block with the D pawn here. But I don't know, that can be a tricky game. Here it says the best thing to do is D3, which looks like that's what we played. So now they just develop their bishop. So castling here. Now they castle as well. It looks like white has a slight edge after they castle. And now C3. So the reason behind this move, you just push this pawn forward with the idea of pushing the D pawn in the future. And it's backed up by the C pawn. So now they play d6 to help fortify this pawn, and they can develop their bishop and possibly pin this knight. So I play h3, and it looks like that's what the computer recommends. Either that or knight at b to d2. But I don't know, that kind of blocks in my bishop, I guess. But the knight could maybe reposition and move over here and attack their bishop if you move your knight to d2. All right, so we play h3 to prevent any pins, and also maybe give our king an escape square in the end game. Now we have, looks like the computer recommends a6, h6, or even a5 here to gain space on the queen side. So they just develop bishop to e6, and it says that's an okay move. And now, yeah, I retreated here. I wasn't sure what to do. It looks like the best move is to just go ahead and capture right away here. So I guess I should have done that. So looks like just capturing here would have been best. And then of course they would recapture. But I mean, I guess this gives them the half open F file to maybe target my king side. Now it recommends b4, pushing their bishop away. So this looks like a decent plan. We attack. They're forced to retreat here. And then we could possibly, well, now it says that's the best move, is to just push forward here and threaten to trap their bishop. So I think I may have played something like this in another game. It looks like a6 is what they recommend. And then here, well, now it's saying a5 would have been better. But either way, I guess we could then maybe chase their knight. Let's take a look here. So now it's saying to just develop the knight over here to d2. But anyway, before I go too deep into another line, we ended up retreating back to b3. And let's see, what did they do? Queen to e7, although it wants this a5 move. So now we move here. They recommend retreating the bishop down here, which makes sense. If we were going to retreat this bishop, we should have just moved it here to c2, instead of capturing then. So that indecisiveness probably didn't help us any. I retreat the bishop, and then I end up capturing. If I was going to retreat, I should have just repositioned here maybe, because once the center opens up, maybe this bishop would be aimed at the king side there. All right. So they line up on my queen, although this bishop retreat is what they recommend. So now we capture. And it's saying better would have been to move the bishop back up here to a4 and attack their knight, I guess. So anyway, this probably wasn't the best play, retreating that bishop, then changing my mind and attacking. So their best move is to capture towards the center. Now they have another pawn here to help attack in the middle of the board. So it looks like b4, chasing their bishop, would have been best. Instead, we develop our queen, and now looks like a5 would keep the game pretty close and prevent us from chasing their queen over here. So they push forward with d5, and the computer says that's an inaccuracy. So why is that an inaccuracy? It looks like a5 is what they want once again. So here we should play b4 and attack their bishop, ignoring what this pawn is doing, attacking here. So what did we play? We played capture here, which their best move is to capture with the pawn and undouble their pawns. But I guess they wanted to protect this, and it says this is a mistake. So now our best move is once again b4 here. So I guess I should take a look at that. b4 would have been best. They would retreat back. They could go to d6, but it looks like which I don't know. I would kind of think they would do that to maybe protect this pawn. But it's saying to retreat back here to b6. And now knight to a3 is the best move. So this is a little tricky. Now it's saying double the rooks up, threaten to attack here. And then it looks like b5, attacking the knight. The knight would jump to here, or back up to b8. And now we can attack their bishop with c4. Oh, but then they would capture here. So they capture, then we capture, attacking them. All right, anyway, that's tricky stuff that I'll have to look in a Italian game book to see, an opening book, and try and figure out if that's something I want to try in the future. So back to this. So we capture. They make a mistake capturing with the rook, but we didn't capitalize on it. We just played bishop to e3, which is a miss. Now the game swings in black's favor here. The best move is to capture our bishop, which is what they did. So now we capture. We had a better move. All right, so let's see if it makes much of a difference. It's not much of a difference, but if we capture this way and pull this pawn into the center, that could maybe help us with a pawn push possibly up here. But I wanted to keep pressure on this pawn. So now their best move is to bring their other rook over, which is what they played. So we play d4 here. And so that's the best move. And I was wondering if they were going to push forward with this pawn, but then my knight could just retreat and attack the pawn, I guess. So it looks like e takes d4 is best. Oh, well, let's see if that's what they did. That's what they played. So capturing with our c pawn is the best move. Which is what we played. So now knight captures is best. Our best move here is knight to c3. Okay. I wondered about that, but it's not too much of a difference. So, I guess we could take a look at that. Knight to c3. Oh, wait a minute. That's pretty crazy. That allows this knight to come in here and threaten a fork of both rooks and our queen. Okay. And it doesn't recommend doing that. Why not? Oh, okay, I guess. Well, I don't know. If they... I might have to take a look at that. The move I was looking at is they capture here, checking us. And then we would have to capture with our queen, and their pawn, they still have their pawn. But here we're attacking the rook. So let's see what happens if they do that. It says that now we should go ahead and capture. And they should capture, attacking us. Then, man, I don't see how this stays even. They're saying we capture over here. They capture here. We capture. And now, what next? Queen to b4. Okay. They guard this b pawn. And they're attacking our b pawn. So now we play what, b3, so we don't lose that pawn, and then our rook would be attacked. But what do they have? Knight to f4, so threatening to check our king. King to h2 would be best. King to h2. So anyway, this is tough. I don't see how, material-wise, what would it be here? We would have 5 pawns, and they have 5 pawns. Well, I guess we ended up equal in material through that exchange. All right. Well, in the game, we had knight. Let's go back a little bit. All right. So they capture, we capture. Their knight captures, we capture, but it said we should have brought our knight up and developed. So they capture. Now knight to c3 is the best move. Well, it's saying that knight to a3 would have been better. I don't know about that. Maybe there it would... I don't know. But anyway, we're behind in this position. Black has a slight edge. So they play, looks like c6 or even c5 are the best moves. Third is rook to d2, which is what I thought they might try to attack here. All right, so also now they're saying king to f7. They should have just protected that pawn. So I remember thinking they may play that as well, and they didn't. So yeah, that might have been tough if they ended up playing that. All right, so anyway, we capture. It says that's the best move. They capture, we capture. Now the king should come out and attack here. But instead the knight jumps forward. Oh, and it's also saying the rook should have just went to the second rank here. So we capture, and that's best. They capture, and now the game is even. But, I don't know, even though the computer says the game's even, it can be difficult to figure out the best moves here. So, it looks like recommended is rook to c6, rook at a to e1, which is what I played. So I don't know, the game's still even here, but it recommends immediately attacking this pawn right here. All right, well, let's see. So in the game, they played this, but they should have just pushed their unopposed pawn forward. So part of general endgame strategy is when you have a pawn majority, you want to push the unopposed pawn. So this c pawn should be pushing forward and trying to break through because there's not a c pawn down here to stop it. And the same over here. This f pawn should be pushing forward, trying to break through. And if the g pawn exchanges for the f pawn, then the g pawn will start pushing forward until one of the pawns, tries to make a breakthrough. All right, so here we have king to f1. It looks like that's the best move. And now best would have been to retreat and move up to here, attacking this rook. All right, so in the game, we retreated there. So did we have something better? It looks like just moving a3 or... rook to e8. That's an interesting option. I wasn't sure if that worked because if I moved rook to e8, they could capture, and then I would have to recapture, and then they could jump down here. My rook would have to go to the B square and guard this and just play defense here. So I didn't know if I liked that or not. What else do we have? So we retreat back. They capture, and capturing with the king is best. And now they play rook to e8, and it does not like that. It says that's an inaccuracy that puts the game in white's favor. So rook to d4 would have been better, which keeps the rook nice and active in the center here, where it can swing over and start attacking pawns. Well, I guess it can't swing over here because of this, but it could keep an eye and try and prevent this f pawn from pushing forward. So let's see here. We'll go back and take a look at that move. What did it say? Rook to d4. So rook to d4. And now it's saying we should just play rook to e3. Anyway, we kind of block out their king. So in the game, we have this move, forcing a trade. So it looks like best is to just go ahead and capture, which is what we did. And the reason that's best is because now their king has to stay on the back rank, and recapture. And then it allows us to push forward and gain the opposition. So they capture, and now the best move, it looks like, is king to e2 or d2. So we jump up here and grab the opposition, which is when we move and it leaves an odd number of squares in between the two kings, and it's their turn to move. So it looks like we could have moved here, which also would have been good to try and get over here and help defend this pawn majority, try to stop their pawns from breaking through. So they move there, which is best. Now it's saying we can move to any of these squares, but king to d3, now it's saying that's best. We maintain the opposition so that there's an odd number of squares once again. So now they push forward, and it looks like king to e4 would have been better, because now they go there, pushing this pawn with check. So it looks like e4 is the best move, and of course we didn't play it. We go that way, and now black has the advantage. But the game's still close to even, so they push forward. Looks like that's best, which threatens to just start marching these pawns up. So now looks like a4 would have been the best move. So we did find that. We played a4, although now the computer's saying we should push our unopposed pawn. All right, so they go this way, and that's a mistake. So let's see what they should have done. Looks like either h5 or king to c6 here. But they recommended h5, and then we should play, looks like h4 to keep that pawn from moving forward. And now this one can only move one square, and we'll be able to march our pawns and break one of them through. So now, let's see, king to c6 would have been best. And it looks like king to d3 would be the best move. Anyway, let's see what happened in the game. a4 is what we played. Then they move over here. I assume to stop me from pushing my unopposed pawn. And now we missed a good move here. A5. because now if they push forward, we just snap up this pawn. So if they capture, well, now we can capture this, and we have the opposition here. They can't move back to their pawns, and we can target those and try and push this one forward. So it looks like, what are they saying is the best move? King to e6. All right. Maybe king to e4. But, all right, I'll just play whatever they say is best. King to e6. Well, now they're saying a4 would have been better. So let's go back and look at this a4 move. So now that stops our pawn from moving forward. But, it's saying king to b4 is the best move here. So now king to d4. We capture. Now it's saying to play h6. Maybe to wait and see what we do. Oh, now it's saying that's a mistake. So let's go back. It wants us to play that. Then king to a5. Oh, now we're just winning. So king to c6. b4 check. Huh. That is interesting. That would be maybe difficult to see, because now if they go here, we're targeting this, but it says we should start pushing these, and they're just stuck now. h5 is what it recommends, but g3 or g4, if we do that, and it doesn't even recommend capturing here. So looks like, what do they want? King to c3. King to c3. Now capture, or wait, we capture. G takes h5. Why would we do that? Why would we play that move? Oh, okay, because I guess we could start moving both pawns forward and let him take one, and then the other one makes it through. So now they're saying I could play that, but then this happens. They go there, and now you got to go up here to stop this, and you can't stop all these threats. So we had a chance to win there and didn't find it. So we'll just have to keep working on the endgame play and try and remember these little tactics like this. All right. So in the game, instead, we played king to d3. So instead of pushing that pawn, we moved over here, which didn't do much. Now they come back, but it's saying that's an inaccuracy. That better would have been, what, b5 here to start trying to break through or push forward. So best would be to capture, and now what do they recommend? h4, h4, h5. Although it likes king to f4 as well. So, I don't know. Let's take a look at that, because that looks dangerous. If the king moved over here, what do we do? We just push up further? That's crazy. I mean, why wouldn't they just go after that? So what if they do that? Oh, that would allow us to move over here and pick these off. So they can't do that. So best would be king to e5. Then what? King to e3. King to f5. f4. King to g4. h6, g6, king to e4, Oh man, yeah, this is just, that would be a crazy end game. So a lot going on. A lot of people don't realize that pawn only end games can be really difficult. So you should try and avoid them unless you're sure that you're going to win. Like if you're ahead by a pawn and you know that that pawn can break through and promote, but otherwise these they can be really tough. All right, so we push forward. It doesn't like that. It says that's a mistake. Best would have been b3 here. And then what? h5. It doesn't like that. What does it say is best? Well, it's saying h5. g5 now. So if we go back, g5. Yeah, that prevents. Well, now it says to go there. Then king to e5. And then king up here to c4. King to e4. And they're going to start going after these. Now it says f4 or a5. So capture, capture. Oh, this will be something to look at. If they capture, now we want to go here. They take, we take, h5, king to b6, king to g3, king takes, if they take, we capture, king to g2, and then there's a race. So they move, and we just go back and forth here. All right. And anyway, this is one possibility. And I guess I'm dragging this video out, aren't I? All right. So they would promote, we would promote, and then they could check us. But because we're close, this could be dangerous. We have to move up here next to our queen, you know, or stay close to our queen, because they could just go here, and you know, we have to be able to protect that queen. And now, you know, it would just be a draw. We chase each other around or just trade off here. So back to the game, and let's finish this out. So f4, they push forward. We move this way, and king to c5 is a mistake. So it's saying what? B, what did it like? b5 is better. So something like that. And then we should play what? Capture or just push up to a5? Says a5 is a little bit better. But, you know, if we capture, they capture, then it's saying g4 is best, b4, h4. I don't know, this is not looking too good. Capture, capture, king to d3 to stop that pawn, c2, but now we have a problem. Now we have a problem here, because the king is going to move over here and start eating all our pawns. And what do we do? What do we do? Looks like f5. But now they just move over here. Yeah, king to f4. So man, yeah, white would, or black would have been winning in that scenario. Okay, so they move over here. we push forward, which is a good move, or a great move, it says. They play king to b4, and that's a mistake. So here, we should have played king to d4, it looks like, or f5. It looks like f5 is still okay. But now it's saying king to d4 would have been better, because when they go here, now we should definitely go up here to d4. So let's take a look at that. We played g5, but better would have been here. And so now, what if they did this? A takes, or g5, we just push forward over here. So, man, yeah, this is just really tricky stuff with a lot of calculations. So let me look at that. If we go there, they have to capture. And now we play g5. They capture here. And we play f6. They play c3, f7, c2. We promote first. They promote. And now queen to b4 check. Queen to b4 check. King to a2 or c2. So if we go there, now queen to c3 is better. Man, yeah, this is tricky stuff. So, you know, the king would move, then, oh man, it recommends not capturing here, which is what I thought they might try and do. But queen to d3 check. All right. Okay, too much stuff to check out in one video, so we're turning into a giant endgame lesson. So g5, we played, we push forward, they capture, we capture, they start marching, and it's a pawn race. So they go, we promote, they promote with check. So now black has the advantage with that check. It looks like we should have maybe moved up here. So, yeah, because now they check us. We go here. We would have been close to that pawn, I guess, if we exchange queens like this. So that was a mistake. Better would have been to just snap off this pawn. But I guess he didn't want me to chase him around. Because if he did that... Now what? Queen to g7 is recommended, you know, or queen to f2, and we start chasing him around. But in the game after this move, capturing is best, which forces him to recapture. Then we attack that pawn. The king comes up. We capture there. He captures, and then we play this move to gain the opposition, although it says we should have just pressed forward here. All right, so let's take a look at that move. If we just press forward here, now what? King to a5 to protect this pawn so that our king doesn't go up here. So king to a5, and then we just push forward here. Once they go here, now, oh wait, it doesn't like that move. It's saying better would have been this move. We go here. Now they play a5. We play h6, and then their king is kind of trapped here. If we go there, we just follow him down the board. If he goes to a2, we go up to c4, because if he pushes forward to a4, oh, it's saying not to go after that. It's saying better that there's only one move, and it's to go here. I guess to keep him from running over here after this. Now, what if he just keeps pushing forward? Well, then we just trap him in the corner there. So that, if he goes here, what do we do? Go after that. If he pushes forward, then it's just a stalemate if we go down here. All right. Once again, let's try and finish this off. So in the game, I don't know, it's pretty even here. Let's see. So let me go back a little bit to where we traded off queens. So they check us, we trade off queens, then we go after their pawn, they go after ours. We try and keep them trapped on the side of the board. They start moving. Oh, here was a game losing mistake. Like, this is a losing mistake here. So instead, we needed to go up to c4. We'll have to see why here. So here, if the king tries to go this way, we can just pick him off. Let's double check that. So let's say they go that way. Well, then we have to go up here to go after this pawn. If they start just running over here, we capture. They just keep moving. We just follow him. He goes here. We go here, here, here. And then, let's see, if we go there and they capture, well then it's just a draw because we just keep him stuck there. So he has to do that. This is kind of tricky. We have to go here. Now if he goes back up there, oh, we can just go down here and jump in front of the pawn. And he won't be able to stop us. So rook pawns are pretty drawish. Okay, so now let's see what he should have done to win the game here. After we go king to c2, he should have played king to b4, which is what he did. King to b4. All right, so now we played king to b2, and he should have, what, just started running? But instead he pushed his pawn, and that was a draw. So he could have just started running, and we would have to waste too much time trying to stop this pawn, and he could just go across the board. Oh, well, it didn't like that. But anyway, if we go there, saying we should have backed. Well, anyway, we would be losing because now we go here. He just goes that way, and we can't get down there in time. He goes there. If we go there, he's going to cut us off. See? So he would be able to win. So another reason these endgames are so tricky with just pawns. So anyway, he pushes forward. That was a mistake that kept the game even. And so what did we do? We play king to a2 to stay in front of that pawn. He goes there. We jump up, and now he's running across, but we have time. All right, so we go there. And that cuts him off. If he would have been able to get to this G2 square, then he could have just escorted his pawn up here to promotion. So by going back there, now we can just jump in front. And no progress can be made here. All right. So anyway, the game ended in a draw. Okay, well, sorry about this video dragging on so long, but there was just a lot going on in that end game with just pawns. So thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe to support the channel if you haven't already. Feel free to leave comments or suggestions or requests at any time. If there's some subject you want to see other than me just playing games, just let me know. So thank you for watching and have a super chess day.